Hello everybody, welcome to day 3. Hopefully you learned a lot, went through money yesterday. Hopefully your checks and balances went through. If you looked at your columns, did you find out, are you ahead, are you behind? Should you be further ahead and you don't understand why you're behind, or do we need to do something else? It's nice to take the time to look at these things and reevaluate. Like I said, my wife and I do it quite regularly. We set 90-day goals pretty religiously, and we start new ones every 45 days so that we have overlap. We're going to get into goal setting today, and we'll teach you some of those strategies. A lot of people do a lot of negative goal setting, and they don't even understand why. Like, I hate my life. What's going to go wrong next? If only this wasn't, or only that wasn't. Those are all negative goal setting, and the way the mind works is it doesn't know whether it's real or whether it's fake. It's just doing what you tell it to do. And it's really hard to get it and fix your thinking until you really start to work on it. Dr. Abby and I started with a book called The Magic by Rhonda Burns. It was one of those things where a friend recommended it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. And it was a 30-day commitment, and I'm like, I'm really happy, I'm really great. I wasn't grateful. And it's like, you do this for 30 days, and it really changes your attitude on where you're at. And I highly recommend it. It's one of the books in our 30-day program. And it's 30 days to become the best version of yourself. And these last 3 free days are just kind of an introductory, cursory evaluation of like, hey, where to start, how to get things going. So a lot of people, when we have clients that come out or friends that come out, they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Look at the view in your living room. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It's incredible. We're so thankful to be here. We can't even believe that we're here. And we're like, yeah, come on over, hang out. Let's mastermind, brains, things, and get it, ramped up and goal set and figure out things. Because one of the things that hit me was reality. And reality hits a lot of people. And I mentioned the 30-day challenge, and I mentioned the gratitude, and I've talked about Happy Pocket Full of Money. Another book that I'm really diving into right now is Dr. Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural, and the way that your brain works and attracts things. But I love the life I live. And people go, well, it's easy. No, I lived this way before I got here. And that's because it's because I live the life that I love. I mean, that's what we do. One of our companies is Make a Life Worth Living. And, that's what we do to help other people with their affiliate programs and branding and social media and all that stuff. But I literally love my life. Like, it's easy, you live on a life. No, I loved my life before that. So many times, one of the most powerful words that gets twisted, and I learned this from a friend of mine that I met in Australia. Her name was Philippa. And she said, it's not that I've got to get the kids to school, or I've got to get this done, or I've got to go here, or I've got to do there. No, I get to. Like, most people, well, why do you do that? And it's like, I take my girls to school in the morning. I walk up and I get them off the bus. I get to be with my kids. Like, oh, I gotta go because I gotta go do this or go. That takes away the choice. You have to figure out what your goal is, and then you get to live your best life. I get to take my daughters to school every day. I wish that I could take my college daughter to school. I wish that I could hang out. So I do. And then it's like, it's just a wish. But when I write it down, I put it in my schedule, because that's where I have time, it gets done. If you're just making wishes, it doesn't happen. Dreams and wishes, there's the only difference between a dream, a wish, and a goal is you take your dream, your wish, and you write it down and you come up with a way to make it happen, and then it becomes a goal and you go to work on it. Otherwise, they're pipe dreams. And so here's kind of like the American dream right now. You're kids and you're like, I'm going to be president. I want to be an astronaut. Nope, I want to be a fireman. I always like to learn when a kid first learns to say fire truck, because, anyways, that's just rabbit trail. But then they get into the teenage years and they've got it all figured out. So I've got a 21-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So I've got the whole spectrum. Being a dad's my favorite thing in the world. Love my family life. My dad died when I was young. And so I really took to heart how to get ahead, how to make more money, how to do things so that I could create a life where I get to take my daughters to school in the morning so that I can be home to get them off the bus. Why? I like it. You know, Skylar will get off the bus and she's like, Daddy, are we going fishing today? I've never fished in my life. I'm not a fisherman. I have really big bass off the dock, but it makes her happy. And I'm like, yes, this is somebody that I want to spend time with. And so even my teenagers are like, they run home, they're ready to see us, they want to spend time, they want to do things, they want to go places. And so that was a really big goal for me, was what I get to do. But you know, those kids, when they're little, they're like, I'm going to be president, I'm going to be a fireman, the whole bit, like I was saying. Well, the teenagers, you know, they hit that age where they're like, they have it all figured out. They're going to have the cars, I'm going to be rich, I want a big house, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to school and I'm going to get a great job and I'm going to have all the money and I'll have like Ferraris and Lamborghinis. And they go to school and they enjoy ramen noodles and, hey Dad, can I have money for gas? And all that stuff is great. But then they graduate and they get their first real job. And generally they're making more money than they've ever made before. And they don't get the car and they don't travel as much as they thought they were going to get to, and they wanted the bigger house, but we're just going to start small, and they get stuck there. And what happens is you get a job and you've got these big dreams and you're like, I need a job to pay for this. No, you need an income. And what happens is people change their dreams to fit their income to make it work. What I did is I'm like, these are my dreams. I'm making amazing money, but I can't pay for my dreams. So I need another way to make more money, to do more things, to have more time. I said the other day that I was a successful chiropractor, had great money, but I didn't have time. I couldn't go on vacations because if I went on a $10,000 vacation and I closed my office for a week, well, that was another $10,000, $15,000 that it cost me. So I was literally a slave to my practice. And I'm like, okay, I want the freedom to be able to go do things with my family. And in the last 5 years, I can't even tell you how many dozens of vacations I've been on. And I'm making money while I'm gone. My first level of coaching, I was actually helping other chiropractors automate, create income streams within their practice to help their people and their clients more. And then I had some attorneys that said, hey, these break in, and I've got a couple of business degrees, and one of them is a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats analysis that I do. And so we'd go into it. And so with clients, my successful clients, they were all like, so what are your goals? Well, this year we want to do this, and we want to do this, and we want to do this. And they have it written down. And they know what they are. Every single struggling client that I've ever had, what's your goal? Well, I want to make more money this year. I'm thinking we're going to branch out. Like, well, where's your goals? Show me your goals. Take out your list. Well, they're more in my head. I just kind of, no, those are called wishes. Those are called dreams. You have to write them down to make them happen. I have journals, and I have bunches of journals. We have a whole section one day on journaling in the 30-day. And we're like, this is how you have a hard conversation with yourself. This is where you get brutally honest. This is what you do. This is how journaling empowers you. For those of you that saw this, when you downloaded the schedules, you're like, dude, the guy journals for 90 minutes a day. Yeah, I want to make a lot more money. I want to help a lot more people. I want to have a lot more impact. I want to have a lot more influence. I have to journal a lot more. I got here on about 30 minutes a day. There's a sweet lady named Christy Ord that I met in Australia, and she did the best concept of journaling and like articulated all the things, and I'm like, that's perfect. I'm hoping that we get to interview her soon on journaling because she's just brilliant, but we'll get into that in a minute. Again, that's something that's in the 30-day. If you want to learn journaling, let us know. But like I said, most of the people that struggle have the weakest goals. The people that are super successful have just like goals for everything. It's like overabundance of let's get stuff going and happening. And what happens is when you move into that space, things start to happen. You're attracting those in. If you're over and inundated with like, oh, my car broke down, I need to get new jeans, this is happening, you're going to get more of that. So where you focus is what's going to happen. And you can't be half-assed. Like if you've tried your goals and it's like, well, I kind of wrote down 3 or 4. No, you really need to know, hey, hi, got closer. I had some notes that I want to go over in a second. And you got to get real specific on what you want, because if your brain is there, you need to get in there and you're like, okay, I want to have this. I want to help, 1,000 single moms. I want to help 1,000 disabled vets. I want to have 1,000 deployed vets make an online income so that they're healthier, they're stronger, they can take care of the wife. Why do I want to do that? My dad died and left my mom as a disabled vet, and left my mom a single mom. It's just part of what I do. Abby's got a women empowering thing. Why? Because she wasn't always empowered by the people in her life. And so it sounds cheesy, but in order to start goal setting, you got to get your brain working like that, because it hasn't worked that way. You've literally got to go like, okay, so if you won the lottery, we're just going to say that, here you go, I'm going to give you $10 million cash. Just stroke you a check for it. I'm not really, but for example, you just got it. What would you do? Some people are like, I'd like to get a new house with a little bit more room because we want to have another child. And no. That's with my job, if I work this much harder, I can afford to pay. No, forget that. I want you to buy your dream house in 90 days. What's it look like? Abby and I, and this is not something that I'm brilliant at, but I'm brilliant at it. We had a 16-acre ranch in Atlanta, and it was pretty good, but it wasn't the multi-million-dollar lake house. And we're like, oh my gosh, so I don't even know how we're going to get a multi-million. I was like, well, I don't know, we'll get it in 90 days. And I was like, I'm actually going to bring her out. And I'm like, I'm good. And sure enough, 89 days later, we moved into this house. And moving in here has been amazing. I'm not going to lie, but you got to dream big, and you've got to go like, what would it take? What would it take for you to move into a 10,000 square foot house, a 5,000 square foot house, a house that's bigger than anything you've ever imagined or dreamed of? You have to get in that mindset to go for it. You've forgotten who you are. You've forgotten what you want. Are you driving the car that you really desire to have, or do you just want it? If you want a new car, that is actually goal setting in a state of lack. If you go pull up and go Wikipedia on want, it says to lack. So if I want, you're saying I lack. If you're not goal setting, you're confirming that you don't have it. Changing the word from want to desire creates the option for it to come in. I desire to bring into my life is this. I want a new car. You lack a new car. I desire a new car. Which car do you desire? Well, perfect example of goal setting, and I say that, it's the way you look at things. So Abby and I wanted a Navigator because we've got 5 kids, and it seats 7, and it's big, and we got luggage, and we go places, and we're all crammed in a 5-passenger and double seat belts, but we can make it work. And then we had the baby, and okay, this isn't working. So we went out for a walk at the beginning of the year, and she had been writing down in her journal and goal setting. And she said, I want a white Lincoln Navigator with beige interior, captain's chairs in the back, room for the baby, blah, da, 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 da. And we're like, yeah, let's go. And we're jumping in, and we're trying to get the elevation to create some energy. And we get in there, and we go for a walk. And we come back from our walk, and our goals were at work because someone smashed out all the windows in the car, the Lexus. And we're like, like what? And I just looked at her and go, this is incredible. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to work out because it always works out. Well, we took it to the dealership to get the glass fixed. While it was there, a car came in that was a 2-year-old Lincoln Navigator, white, beige, everything that we said we wanted. And it was right there. And they're like, yeah, we can make this just an even swap, and you'll just be in the same car. Same car payment, everything, except you're going to get your white Lincoln Navigator, 2 years old, but just list it the way we are. 2 years old is a thing just because I don't like to waste money just because I have it. 2-year-old, bought it used. It's in mint condition, low mileage, got the warranty. Life's perfect. But that's because there was a goal. And even though it was like someone smashed my car, knowing that it was working for my good and I was putting the energy out there, that's what came in. Most people have gotten tied up with someone smashed my car instead of here's the opportunity for my goals to manifest. When we were selling our property, we had planned to move someplace else. The whole deal just fell through. And we were kind of bummed out because we had 4 days to find a place to live. And then we had 3 days to find a place to live. And then all of a sudden my realtor goes, hey, It's about twice what you were looking to spend, but it's available and you can move in ASAP. And we were like, awesome. So you have to have a goal and it has to be written down and you have to live like you're in the goal, because it's one of those universal laws that if you're grateful for it before you've got it, it tricks your brain into thinking you have it. And then the law of attraction kicks in and you can, Rhonda Burns does some great jobs on that. Joe Dispenza, the books that I'm reading, top 3 books, read The Magic, read Kakandi's Happy Pocket Full of Money, which isn't really about money. It's about having abundance in the here and now. And then Dr. Joe Dispenza is about rewiring the brain, the way your brain works for health and wellness and all that stuff. So to get into goal setting, I want to ask you, what would you do if I just gave you $10 million? What would you buy? What would you have? Be absurd. Make a list of everything you think you want. Most people that I coach can't come up with $5 million worth of stuff. I want, and you're like, I don't play the lottery unless it's $140 million. Yeah, because $30 million isn't going to really help me. Like, really? And I'm not saying go play the lottery. I don't play the lottery. But I'm just saying that it's this mindset that you got to have these, no, most people, $2-3 million home, wipes that out. I want a Ferrari, cool, there's a couple $100,000. Well, then I wanted another Mercedes SUV, there's a couple $100,000 more. You still have $2 or $3 million left over. Well, I want to send my kids to school. Okay, all of them? Cool. There's $500,000. You still have a couple $1 million left over. I want a boat. Okay, you still have a couple $1 million left over. I want a $100 million yacht. Like, no, you're just saying that to consume the cash. But what happens is, when I went through that and I started to get these things, I'm like, oh crap, now what do I do? Well, that's where we came up with the Poppy Foundation for disabled vets and single moms. And so your goals start to go and to grow and to empower other people and yourself. What I'm going to give you that's Hannah has somewhere licked, I don't know, up, down, whichever way it is. You guys know where the buttons are. This is Make a Life Worth Living, and it's goal setting. This is the exact printout that I use for the chiropractors to coach them from 6 figures to mid 6 figures and help their offices grow. That whole, here's the dot, this is where you're at. This is a little different in goal setting. This shows you where you're at, where you were, and where you're going. So I broke it down into 12 categories. We're not going to get into it in this. This is what part of the 30 day is about. But there's the physical, how do you feel, spirituality, family, career, financial, mental, personal relationship, the things that I desire to be, that I desire to have, and then whatever else happens. You start off with where were you at in these different categories? How do you feel? Where are you at now? And where would you like to be in 5 years? Most people are like, I'd like to lose 10 pounds. That's a wish. I am losing 10 pounds because I am eating right and going to the gym is a goal, and it happens. The self-evaluation form is the most important piece. And again, what happens is, and you've seen them before, and it's really important because whether you do the 30 days or not, you're going to see where this puts you into, I know where I'm at and I know how I feel about it. So for instance, I eat a balanced diet. I give myself a 4 on that because 80% of what I eat is perfect. The other 20%, not so perfect, but I really like it. But my body has gotten nutrition from the prior 80%, so when I eat something else, my body goes, yeah, we don't need this, it's waste. And so I feel pretty good about that. I know people that eat a balanced diet, and it's number 5, it describes them to a T. It's perfect, and it's a negative because they beat themselves up over and stress about eating all the time. I know other people that are a 2, and they feel pretty good about it because they're foodies and they just like it. It's not hurting them. What you want to do is you want to write whether it's you. So I'm a 4 and I feel good about it. Not a problem. My weight is about right. Oh, yeah, I'd say a 4, but I could lose 10 pounds, so I might put a negative sign. So then you go through and you go, oh, wow, these are negatives, and that's where I feel bad about it. Start there. Sometimes it's not about doing something new. It's about not doing. Like if you feel bad about your weight, you don't have to join a gym, start a whole new diet. If you join the 30 days, we explain how, eating right for your blood type, ketogenically, the vegan or the meat or whatever it is that you want to do, plant paradox, how you feed your brain, how you feed your body. We discuss that in the 30 day. And so we can help you with that. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're working on things that go in the right direction. That, however, has no bearing on the fact that you could simply go from drinking a glass of wine 6-7 nights a week to I drink on the weekends. So now you're not doing something new, you're just not doing. So I'm actually asking you to do less to reach your goals. And so you can break down that in each of the categories, and at the end, it goes through all the categories and says, hey, what do I need to do? Well, these are the top things that stress you the most. This is what I resolved to do about it. I resolved to drink only on the weekends. Cool. You're going to be healthier. I drink red wine. That's a cop-out. I drink single malt scotch, which you could actually get a prescription for during the roaring 20s, but I don't really need to drink it every night. So I don't. I have a glass or something on the weekends if I want to, and I eat really, really well. But it makes it easier. I've mentioned a couple times about our 30-day. This was just to help a lot of people get started. Really looking forward to it. Love this. In launching and doing our coaching and taking on the internet responsibilities of more clients and whatnot, we wanted a 3-day to kind of give people a taste of, hey, this is how to live. This is what we're doing. This is what we're coaching. However, if you're interested in a 30-day coaching challenge, it's a lot like this. Most of the videos are 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes. And it's unlike any other coaching thing that I've seen, because a lot of coaching is like, write down your goals, read them every day, post them everywhere in your house. Ours is more like, remember I told you on that first day, we have 5 key areas that we work on with people. We've got the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the financial. Most of my clients, again, like I said, are chiropractors. They don't need some new job to get stuff going. They need to figure out how to maximize where they're at, work smarter. Other people, they want to know how to make money online, and they're interested in the single moms and the vets program that we've got. It doesn't matter where you're at. Then another day is how to eat right for you. Because, in our household, we have O blood types, B blood types, and A blood types. We've got the carnivore, we've got the vegan, and we've got the I need to be careful as long as I don't eat chicken or corn, we're good. So we've got that whole spectrum. Another day would be journaling. I actually spend 2 days on journaling because journaling is the most important thing that we do. If I were to make this a 4-day course, tomorrow would be all about journaling. But, oh wait, you have to get into 30-day for that. So anyways, it's not about whipping you up into a frenzy, getting $100 from you and be like, oh, this is cool. And then you do nothing. It's about, here's 30 days to really apply into your life. Physically, well, what's physical? You got water, you got nutrition, you got supplements, you've got food, you've got rest, you've got exercise. Those are all categories under physical. Well, mental? Yeah. How's your self-talk? Journaling. Goal setting. Those are all mental faculties. Emotional. How are your relationships? How's your relationship with yourself, with your spouse, with your kids, with your coworkers? How do you get that? Great book, Leadership and Self-Deception. Weird name for a book that's all about every single relationship you've ever had. Again, it's something that we recommend, and that's what we go through in our 30-day. Spirituality, emotional, the relationships. When you get into the spirituality, I grew up in a very religious background, but it didn't really answer my deep spiritually needed questions. It was more of a do as you're told. Good, bad. Instead of personal growth. And there's so much material out there on people that are looking in and thinking globally and helping more people and wanting to have more impact. That's why my spiritual motivation is to grow and help other people is what's got me doing these videos. Not financial, not the money, that's all taken care of. But then we get into the financial side of it and we're doing part of what we did. Here's the finances, where are you at? Do you need another job? Do you need to work smarter? Can you help other people? What are your gifts? So we break into all that stuff in our 30-day. It's $100 for the month. Hannah's got a link somewhere around here. You can click on that and it gives you access to the next stages. This is kind of the first 3 days. Just wanted to see it. If you get something out of this, I hope you've gotten a lot out of it. Share it with friends, let them see it. I literally do these exact things every time I start a new project like this. All right, so I've got all this free time. Where do I want to do what? That's my schedule. Find the time to do it. Okay, there it is. All right, so I'm going to spend this amount. It's more like I'm planning to spend this amount of money. Where does it need to come at to balance out? That's going to get taken care of. Where are we going to give? How are we going to help? The philanthropy. So for that, like I said, with us, that's the disabled vets and single moms. But that's what we do. And then here are the goals. What are my outcomes? What would I like to see? I would like to impact thousands of people and help them get off the hamster wheel, out of the rat race, and realize that they can have anything and everything they want. And once they've got all that stuff, they can help other people get everything that they want. It's so much easier in today's environment. So I really encourage you, jump on. It's fun. Today's the longest one because goals are a big deal. We'll go over, day 4 would be journaling 101, how to have those conversations with yourself and what to get out of it. How would you think? Most people think, oh, I could never do that. Most people don't realize that I don't like self-help, personal development, all that. I'm just growing into a better person. I heard a great definition of hell. It's the one that hit me the hardest. And it was, so on the day you die, you're introduced and have to spend eternity with the person that you could have been. And that just kind of has been marinating on me for about 6 months, maybe 8, since the beginning of the year. And I could do a lot more. There's a lot more people for me to help, and that's where I'm at. That said, I hope you've enjoyed these 3 days. Take this, use it, read it. Whether you do the 30-day or not, it'll change your life because it gives you the point of where you're at, what you're doing, and how to get there. And if I can help, let me know. We have a variety of coaching packages that we do. If you just want to keep it simple, go straight forward, see what I've got to say. 30 days, it's $100 for $3 a day. I think the information's amazing. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's what I literally do, and my wife and I literally do every day of the month. And it's just, and so it gives you I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. I never even thought about that. Here's a great way to do it. Have a great one. Thank you for your time. Click share, send this funnel to people if they want to do the 3-day. If you think it'll help them, great, even better. Have a great one.